Reigning MVP Joel Embiid puts up 50 points in the Sixers' 131-126 win against the Washington Wizards. However, 76ers somehow managed to make the Washington Wizards look like a playoff potential team. I have very mixed thoughts on this whole game. If you watched it yourself, you probably do as well. And I would definitely want to talk about tonight's game and kind of how we got here in terms of our past few games. And I want to give a big shout out to Kelly Oubre, of course, for making his return tonight. I know everybody here at Sixers Digest was very, very excited to see Kelly back and looking fantastic as ever, both in terms of how he looks on the court and how he looks off the court as well. But let's jump into everything. Before we do, though, please make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date on all things 76ers. Sean Bernard and I put out almost daily content here on Sixers Digest, so you definitely do not want to miss out, and definitely stick around for this season for the Sixers because it has been an interesting one. Now, let's jump into the box scores here tonight. Of course, we got to talk about the 50 points that Joel Embiid put up. 50 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. And it's kind of crazy to think that Tyrese Maxey actually had he was the first one to reach 50 points this season before Joel Embiid did. But Tyrese Maxey also putting out a fantastic game at 26 points. Only 1 rebound, but 7 assists and 1 steal as well. And followed right behind De'Anthony Melton at 19 points. Had a very balanced game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Nobody particularly stood out to me defensively tonight, but this was very much a Joel Embiid, MVPIID, if you will, dominant game. And I feel like this is just more fuel to the MVP fire that Joel Embiid has. Now, the reason I found this game so interesting, one, I obviously thought that we were going to blow out the 3 and now 17 Washington Wizards. I had a very rough day at work. I was expecting a very relaxing game. So when I came home and, at one point we were trailing at least 10 points in the second quarter to the Washington Wizards, I was very confused, very angry about the whole situation, but luckily a win is a win, and we were able to pull it out. Now, you can look at this game in 2 different ways. The Sixers have not played since the Boston Celtics game on Friday, and this is actually the longest break that the Sixers have this entire season, minus the All-Star break. So you can look at it 2 different ways. You can say, oh, look how rested they are. They should be very prepared to go play the Washington Wizards. Or you could look at it as, look how much time they've had off. They're going to have to, work a little harder to get back on their feet after this very long break. So whichever way you look at it, definitely let me know what you guys were thinking in the comments below. I was looking at it more of, hey, y'all had a long break. This should be an easy game, but clearly it was a well-fought game. In terms of Joel and Tyrese Maxey, they have been out for over a week. They both missed the Boston Celtics game on Friday, in addition to Nick Batum and, of course, Kelly Oubre, who was still out on his accident. Now, the Friday Boston Celtics game was fascinating because here we are, 2 definite starters gone, and Nick Batum and Kelly Oubre, who have started a decent amount of games this season, are also gone. And we have this game that's completely dominated by Patrick Beverley, who I have even more and more respect for after that Boston game. And I'm so pissed, and I'm honestly very pissed at Tobias Harris for that loss because we were so close to this miraculous win. However, if you want more Tobias ranting, that will probably come very, very soon because I have some rants for this game, and I definitely feel like I'm going to have some more rants about him in the upcoming game. Betty's a lovely person, however, I am counting down the days until his contract is up. However, it was very interesting to go from a game that had to be dominated by the Sixers bench because of the amount of injuries and illnesses that happened in that Boston game to this game where Joel Embiid completely took center stage, put up 50 points, and was completely the dominant player of the game. So it's just very interesting. I feel like we went from one extreme to the other in just a matter of a few days. But definitely let me know what you guys are thinking on that. In terms of overall, it's really been back and forth. We went from the other night blowing out the Lakers, handing LeBron his worst loss of his career. I've mentioned that fact several times on this channel now. I love it. Sorry, LeBron. And then literally the next night getting blown out by the Pelicans, which I have a lot of friends who don't really pay attention to sports but are trying their best because I run this channel now. And several of them texted me asking if the Pelicans were an actual team. Yes, they were, and yes, they blew us out. Yeah. So in terms of how I'm feeling about this Sixers team, I don't even know at this point. Like, it feels so back and forth. To be honest, I was pretty upset with this game because, again, this is a game we absolutely should have won. But you could look at it again in two different ways of, hey, they were gone for so long, they just kind of had to get their footing here. Or say, they should have been very well rested and been able to get the job done very easily and not given any of us a heart attack. Now, let's look back at the box scores. I definitely want to, again, give Kelly Oubre a shout out. He looked great tonight. It was really nice to see that he didn't start and that he was only playing for about 19 minutes instead of, again, trying to force him to be in for about 30. I think that we kind of have to ease our way with Kelly Oubre. So it was really great to see that Nick Nurse is taking his time with him. He put up 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And again, very, very glad that he's back on the court and seeing his beautiful, beautiful face back on the court was just fantastic. And finally, let's talk a little bit Tobias Harris. 35 minutes and only 6 points. Did put up 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. But I'm getting really, really frustrated with Tobias Harris. He had a really great start to the season, and I think that a lot of people were very excited about his start of the season to be like, wow, it's Toby time, here he is going to prove the haters wrong. And I wasn't on the Toby train quite yet because I've followed this team for a few years and I kind of know what happens. And I am very frustrated with him. You could really chalk up the loss for the Celtics to Tobias Harris for not pulling through at the end. Actually not pulling through at all, really, with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey out. Hypothetically, on paper, Tobias Harris should have been the go-to man. He should have been the starter who, had his time to shine. This would have been a perfect game for him to prove the haters wrong, I guess. But that's just not what happened on Friday, and definitely not what happened tonight. So I will probably be making, whether it's with Sean or not, a Tobias Harris rant video in the future. Definitely let me know what you're feeling on Tobias Harris. I went out and bought some crumble cookies, and have to say, I'd make a trade. But otherwise, let me know how you felt about this game. Let me know what you're just thinking about Sixers overall. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!